You never expect betrayal to come from both the woman you love and the man who raised you. But when it does, it changes something inside of you forever. My name is Marcus, and I thought I was doing everything right. I had built a decent life, graduated top of my class in computer science, landed a high-paying remote job with a Silicon Valley tech company, and found a woman who made me believe love was something more than just hormones and timing. Her name was Kayla, bold, sarcastic, effortlessly beautiful. We met at a friend's engagement party and hit it off over a shared joke about the band playing the worst version of Can't Help Falling in Love we'd ever heard. From there, it was game on. In 2 years, we went from flirty strangers to a couple everyone in our circle envied. She was always over at my place, cooking pasta barefoot, dancing to 2000s R&B in the kitchen like no one was watching. I started to see a future. We even looked at houses. Marriage wasn't just a fantasy, it was a plan. And when I introduced her to my family, especially my father Richard, I was proud. My dad had always been a big presence, former military, strong jawline, that classic, well-aged confidence that made people listen when he spoke. He was old school, a bit controlling, but I respected him, and I trusted him, until I learned I never should have. The betrayal didn't come like a thunderstorm. It crept in like fog, slow and suffocating. It started with Kayla's odd behavior. She'd take longer in the shower, hide her phone screen when I walked by, laugh at texts and say, "It's just my coworker." Then there were the canceled plans, last-minute dinner reschedules, weird excuses about errands she needed to run alone. And every time we visited my parents, something felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it. Just a look between them here, a slightly too long hug there. But I ignored it. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then came the night everything unraveled. I had left my phone charging at her place while I went out to pick up Thai food. Her phone buzzed while I was grabbing napkins, and I glanced over out of habit. My dad's name lit up the screen. That alone didn't mean anything. He liked to joke around. But the preview of the message? Can't stop thinking about last night. You're addictive. I felt my blood freeze. I opened the thread. What I saw didn't just make me sick. It shattered every ounce of stability I thought I had. Pictures, explicit voice notes, flirty selfies, plans for secret getaways. She had even texted him, "I love how dangerous this feels." I dropped the food and just sat there, numb. My mind couldn't process it. My girlfriend, my dad, behind my back, for months. I confronted Kayla that night. She cried, begged, told me she didn't know how it happened. But the thing that destroyed me more was my dad's reaction. He didn't deny it. He didn't even apologize. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "We didn't mean to hurt you." As if that made it better. As if that excused everything. That was the moment I knew. I was done playing the good son. I was done being the victim. They thought they could humiliate me, betray me, and walk away untouched? No. That night I started planning. And I knew exactly where I'd strike first. My father's ego. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even block their numbers. No, I let them think they had won. Because that's how you set the stage for real revenge. My father, Richard, walked around like nothing happened, as if his betrayal was a minor inconvenience rather than a soul-shattering betrayal. Kayla ghosted me for 2 weeks, then had the audacity to post a selfie on Instagram, smiling in his backyard, wearing one of his Marine Corps hoodies. That photo was my breaking point. I could have confronted them, gone nuclear, But where's the satisfaction in that? You punch once and it's over. I wanted to haunt them. I wanted my revenge to be a slow, smoldering burn. That's when the idea came to me. Elegant, cruel, poetic. If Kayla could betray me with my father, I'd return the favor with someone who could hurt him just as deeply. Someone who raised him. And so I reached out to the one person he never expected I'd turn to. My grandmother. Eleanor. My dad's mom. She lived 3 towns over in a high-end retirement community, the type with golf carts, weekly wine tastings, and residents who still wore pearls to brunch. Eleanor had always liked me, said I was the only sensible one in the family, and when I asked if she wanted to catch up over lunch, she said yes with a warmth I hadn't felt in months. It started innocently enough. Lunches at her country club, long chats over coffee, walks through the botanical garden. But I knew what I was doing. I leaned into every compliment. I made her laugh. I dressed sharp, held doors open, brought her flowers. Everything a good man does to woo someone. Only this wasn't about love. It was about payback. I waited 2 weeks before bringing up Richard's affair with Kayla. She gasped so loud the waiter turned around. With your girlfriend? Marcus, are you serious? I nodded slowly, letting the pain sit on my face just long enough for it to sting. Her eyes hardened. That man needs to be humbled, she said. And that was all I needed. From then on, I turned the charm up to 11. Eleanor wasn't just flattered, she was fascinated. I treated her better than anyone in her gated world had in years. And the rumors, they started fast. A 27-year-old man visiting a 68-year-old woman in a red Mercedes coupe twice a week? You don't need to say much before the entire community starts whispering. I leaned in. Posted pictures of our dates with captions vague enough to stir suspicion. No one teaches you class like she does. When my father finally called, furious, confused, screaming, I didn't even flinch. I let him yell, then calmly said, "You took what I loved. I'm just getting closer to what made you." Then I hung up. That's when I knew I'd hit the nerve I was aiming for. I knew things had hit critical mass when Richard showed up at Eleanor's condo unannounced. I watched from her balcony as he stormed across the pristine walkway, fists clenched, face red, like a man completely unhinged. Eleanor, classy as ever, opened the door in her silk robe and calmly sipped her tea while he raged. "What are you doing with Marcus? He's your grandson's age," he shouted, but she didn't even blink. "And what were you doing with his girlfriend?" she replied, cool as a glacier. That shut him up. He stumbled for words, trying to reframe everything like I was the villain, as if seducing his mother was somehow more immoral than him sleeping with mine. I stepped out onto the balcony, let him see me standing behind her, holding her shawl like a gentleman. I didn't say a word. My silence said enough. That day broke him. He left humiliated, confused, rattled in a way I had never seen before. Kayla tried to do damage control later, texting me a weak "can we talk" message, but I ignored it. She made her choice. And Eleanor? She wasn't heartbroken. If anything, she enjoyed the power shift. She began telling her friends in subtle terms that she was exploring new companionship. I wasn't using her. I made sure she felt respected and valued, but I made it clear I wasn't here for something permanent, just honesty. We both knew what this was, but the true satisfaction didn't come from petty theatrics. He lost his confidence. The man who once walked into every room like he owned it now couldn't face his neighbors without hearing whispers about his boy dating his mom. He started missing church events, canceled a vacation. Kayla? She stuck around for a few more weeks, but it was clear the sparkle had faded. She thought she was trading up when she chose my father over me, but she ended up with a broken man who couldn't look her in the eyes. She messaged me one last time. I think I made a mistake. I didn't reply, because this wasn't about her anymore. It was about healing on my terms. When people betray you, they expect you to fall apart. I redefined the scoreboard.